One day, a virtual reality game called Ares bursts onto the scene. Every character in Ares is powered by AI. They have independent personalities, capable of making judgments and taking actions. Ares is a new world created by Azure Corporation. They used advanced AI to create gods. The gods of Ares evaluate players themselves and grant powerful abilities based on their achievements. Players who receive divine revelations from the gods of Ares will become legendary heroes. Of course, players can also establish their own forces and become rulers. In short, anything possible in reality can be done here, and Ares can make the impossible become real. The game has a massive impact on global culture the moment it launches. Right now, a group of players is in Beginner Village, experiencing the game content. Real-world physique and abilities affect in-game characters, so players can only customize their appearance. At this moment, several people nearby notice the stage. It's an event that's been around since Ares launched. Destroy a wooden puppet with 10 sword strikes. Success grants a 50 million won Ares exclusive game capsule and 5 points to all ability stats. But it's not as simple as it looks. After all, even elite national athletes have failed at this challenge, including gold medalist Victor Han. So now everyone believes this challenge is impossible to complete. Just then, the final challenger slowly appears behind the crowd. Ma-Du-Seok, the strongest primate alive. Rumor has it this guy can kill a black bear with his bare hands. If it's him, he might succeed in less than 10 strikes. The next second, he gathers all his strength and throws a punch at the puppet. Meanwhile, the operations team behind the scenes is watching everything on their screens. They too hope Du-Seok can succeed. After all, if even he fails, it will definitely cause player dissatisfaction. The team leader is considering whether to manually intervene in Ares' system, but the director definitely won't agree. At the same time, Du-Seok's challenge ends in failure. This is bad. We should get out of here before the players start complaining. But the next second, a team member reports there's a new challenger. So, do you think someone with that kind of appearance can succeed? He's still wearing the starter outfit from character creation. The weapon in his hand looks like something he bought with money. Many players think buying equipment will lead to success. That's a huge mistake. Just as the two are about to leave, a sharp sound rings out. The wooden puppet is instantly sliced in half. At the same time, a notification window appears. You are the first player to complete the puppet destruction challenge. All ability stats increase by 5 points. 200 fame points acquired. This leaves the two people behind the scenes completely stunned. There are still experts out there? No wait, he looks like just an ordinary player. Hold on, check his weapon grade quickly. Leader, his weapon grade seems a bit strange. Epic grade weapon radiance. The creator didn't set a level restriction. Seeing this, the team leader is utterly shocked. It's actually epic grade? Who on earth is this guy? Time rewinds to earlier. He was once the sole heir to a world-class master blacksmith. However, a massive fire completely changed his fate. After that accident, his right arm became completely useless. Being a blacksmith is now impossible. His injured arm makes even simple labor jobs difficult. To pay off the massive medical bills, he had no choice but to work as a laborer at construction sites. One day, his friend Kim Ji-hoon came to find him. Ji-hoon mentioned that the popular game Ares has a special event. No one has succeeded so far, not even celebrity players. But if you complete it, you'll receive a game capsule worth 50 million won. And he believes completing the challenge isn't entirely impossible, because to shatter the puppet, Hyun-soo, you might have a chance. For this, he specially spent 10 million won on a game capsule with an 85% synchronization rate. Yes, it's expensive, but it's a solid investment. Complete quests successfully and you'll earn massive rewards. Plus, you can convert game currency to real money. Enough talk. Just try it. I told you, you definitely have a chance, because Ares has a blacksmith profession. Hyun-soo, don't forget you're the sole heir to a world-class master blacksmith. With your skills, how could a mere puppet be your match? However, Hyun-soo remains completely unmoved, because he believes his current condition isn't suitable for such things. In the end, he politely declines his friend's suggestion. But Ji-hoon is frustrated. How long are you going to live like this? Don't you think about your future? All the medical expenses add up to 3 billion won. That's an astronomical sum. Didn't you say you wanted to be a blacksmith for life? You can do that in Ares. A mere 10 million won, I can handle that. Can't you just listen to your friend this once? Hearing this, Hyun-soo immediately falls into deep thought. His friend's words echo constantly in his ears. Along with the rhythmic sound of hammering metal, Hyun-soo's restless heart is completely ignited. In the end, he comes to stand before the game capsule. The flames that evaporate every drop of sweat, the nostalgic sound of hammering. Father, I will try to lift the hammer again. Moments later, Hyun-soo enters the world of Ares, analyzing physique. The next second, Hyun-soo's body is restored. Confirm this physique? Of course, he selects yes. Not only have the scars disappeared, but the strength in his right hand has returned. Ji-hoon, that guy. Now I owe him 10 million won. Looks like I'll have to work hard to pay it back. With a flash of blue light, Hyun-soo is transported to Rennie's blacksmith shop in Baldan Territory Beginner Village. At this moment, a blacksmith is complaining. Damn instructors! I'll forge a better sword than any of theirs. He then hammers away at the metal with determination. But the next second, Hyun-soo calls out to stop him. That's not how you do it. You seem to be making a bladed weapon, but this technique won't produce a quality sword. I know this might sound forward, but I can see you're serious about making a good sword. I can't just watch you struggle with a wrong method. Hearing this, the blacksmith becomes interested. You talk as if you know how to do it. In that case, show me your skills. I'll watch carefully with eyes to see if you actually have the ability. Right now, Hyun is caught off guard. His plan was to befriend the blacksmith first, then ask to use the forge. But this works too. Then he makes a request. If I prove my ability, can I keep the sword I make? Don't worry, I'll let you watch my entire process. Of course, the blacksmith agrees without hesitation. However, if you can't do it, you'll pay the price for your arrogance. Moments later, Hyun-soo picks up the hammer. Though he can't guarantee he can perform like before, this feeling is worth trying. With each strike of his hammer, painful memories flash before his eyes. They all fuel his resolve. The forgotten sensation slowly awakens. The familiar hammering sound and the heat surging against his skin. His body still remembers this feeling. Meanwhile, the blacksmith watches with interest. This guy actually has some skill, but his skill is probably surface level at best. But why does he look so happy? But happiness doesn't change anything. To survive here, results are what matter most. Without exceptional skills, there's a ceiling you can't break through. Just then, he suddenly notices something unusual. Folding it back together and hammering it again, this is a method that both increases hardness and removes impurities. How did I not think of such a simple technique? But does this actually work? He then activates his appraisal eye and discovers the steel has upgraded from D grade to C grade. This gives him quite a shock, though he's made C grade weapons before, never at such a fast rate. It seems he wasn't lying, but he should only be able to go this far. The blacksmith groggily wakes up from the bench. The next second, he's shocked by what he sees. This guy is still at it, hammering, heating. Hyun-soo repeats this process over and over. Suddenly, the blacksmith's appraisal eye activates. The steel has upgraded to B grade. This breaks him out in a cold sweat. Without skills, he's reached B grade, and he's still not stopping? Does this mean he's aiming for an even higher grade? At this moment, Hyun-soo suddenly runs low on stamina, so the blacksmith immediately steps in to help. Just tell me what to do. I'll assist you. Finally, through their combined efforts, the steel upgrades to A grade. This is already enough to craft a rare grade weapon. No rare grade weapon has ever been created in Beginner Village. With this, he can definitely forge a one-of-a-kind sword, but Hyun-soo believes this is far from enough. You're quite interesting. You said you wanted to keep the sword you make, right? Use this and make it again. This is mithril, a mineral passed down through my family for generations. I've learned so much from you, but this grade of mineral is beyond my current skill level. I can't help but want to see what kind of weapon you'll create with this mineral. Right now, Hyun-soo falls into thought. This is something that doesn't exist in reality. For someone who's never used this material before, this is a huge gamble. It seems I have no choice. Then I'll assist you while learning at the same time. 1 month later, Hyun-soo completes the weapon. Epic grade weapon Radiance. No level restriction for the creator. Special abilities as follows. Note, will absolutely never appear again in Beginner Village. A legendary blade born from a craftsman's hands. Time returns to the present. So this guy made a sword with mithril and completed the puppet challenge? Right now, Deputy Lee pulls up Kang Hyun-soo's personal information. He's logging in from an acquaintance's house. Aries just received his capsule delivery address. However, he strongly requested that his real-world information not be disclosed. The team leader is puzzled by this. If we announce this, he'd become famous overnight. Why would he refuse that? There must be a reason. So where is he now? Well, he's entered the hunter training ground. Meanwhile, Ralston slowly speaks. Kid, real monsters start appearing from here on. I can see your level. Sorry, but a level 1 player cannot pass this trial. Don't waste your time. Go back and catch a few rabbits nearby, then come back. But Hyun-soo is confused. Can he not see my ability stats? Don't waste time. Let's just start. Then go pick any sword from over there. If any sword is fine. Can I use my own sword? After Hyun-soo enters the hunter training ground, the team leader and others approach the director. He first reports on Hyun-soo's current status. Because he stayed in Beginner Village for a month, he's accumulated many basic ability stats. And more importantly, he's the only one in Beginner Village with an epic grade weapon. He doesn't even have a class yet. Should we really stay hands-off and let Aries handle this completely? The director believes there's no need to worry excessively. Isn't he at Baldin hunting ground right now? He doesn't know what his fate will be either. Let's just see how far he can go. Meanwhile, Ralston is quite surprised. This guy said he wants to use his own sword? This looks like a handcrafted sword. Could he be a blacksmith? Then he shows a slight smile. The monsters in here are all extremely dangerous. Trained swordsmen are far better than that crude weapon you made. If you chose to be a blacksmith, why come here? Instructor Ralston's affinity decreased by 10 points, but Hyun-soo shows no concern. After all, he's been through too much in reality. Blacksmithing is a useless dream, but Aries is different. He feels this is a place that acknowledges his efforts. I will become the finest swordsman to come to this training ground. Please give me the hardest test. Hearing this, the instructor becomes somewhat angry. Does this guy look down on me that much? I've taught so many people. Could I really misjudge you? Then the instructor shows a slight smile. Follow me. My job is to teach outsiders the basics and then test them, but I also provide trials to select exceptionally talented individuals. So far, the training ground's highest record is the level 3 trial. The trial monster is a level 6 goblin with extremely high speed. If you fail, you can't come near here for a week. Do you understand? But Hyun-soo is somewhat dissatisfied. Only a level 3 trial here? I want to pass the highest stage in one go. Hearing this, the instructor immediately loses his temper. He then summons the stage 4 trial monster, level 15 berserker goblin. Only a tiny fraction of people worldwide have passed the stage 3 trial, and not a single person has passed stage 4. The next second, the goblin suddenly launches an attack at Hyun-soo. At the same time, Hyun-soo decisively activates his weapon skill. Resilient Blade increases physical attack by 12% and physical defense by 8% for 40 seconds. With a loud bang, the berserker goblin is instantly slain. At this moment, another berserker goblin attacks, but he fails to dodge in time and gets slashed by the goblin. Right now, the instructor is quietly watching from the side. Just as expected, the goblin instantly lands a critical hit, but the next second, he's stunned. Hyun-soo, a level 1 player, actually withstands the critical hit. This is all thanks to his dedicated weapon crafting. His stamina and strength stats have increased considerably. You're still far from done. The real danger is just beginning. At this moment, the berserker goblin goblin uses its berserk thrust skill. It immediately strikes Hyun-Soo's body. At this point, he's afflicted with multiple negative status effects. Even the instructor on the side can't help but marvel. This kid is impressive, but he's reached his limit. Right now, facing the assault of two goblins, Hyun-Soo slowly raises his sword. I trust the weapon I made. Radiance's passive skill activates. Swift Blade attack speed instantly increases by 1.7 times within 1 second. The next second, all the goblins in front of him are slain with one strike. This breaks everyone watching out in a cold sweat. Then the instructor shows an incredibly excited expression. This guy actually did something no one could do. Though it was rough, you utilized the sword's advantages for consecutive strikes. Looks like you know a bit of swordsmanship. Of course. Someone told me that to be a blacksmith you must first learn to use weapons yourself. Looking at the wounds on Hyun-Soo's hands, Instructor Ralston instantly understands everything. A true blacksmith is indeed like this. I apologize for my earlier rudeness. Ralston's affinity has reached maximum level. Then Ralston makes a suggestion to Hyun-Soo. Your talent is truly exceptional. Would you like to become the Lord of Light? That's a legendary class. Right now, the two people watching behind the scenes are completely stunned. He actually skipped Light Knight and offered him the legendary hidden class Lord of Light. With just this, he's already a tier 2 special management player. Though this is good news. Once he accepts the class change quest, there's no turning back. The Lord of Light is a glorious existence who leads hundreds of light knights. That's a guardian of the world. What do you say? I don't offer this lightly. You have what it takes to become the king of knights. But Hyun-Soo decisively rejects him. I'm not a knight, I'm a blacksmith. Just as I thought. You're quite impressive. Originally, Hyun-Soo thought he would never hold a hammer again. But in Aries, he feels his life as a blacksmith has begun anew. At this moment, a notification window appears. Hidden quest unlocked. B-grade quest. Meet the Lord. Description, go meet Lord Vance. This is my letter of recommendation. Go to the Lord's castle. Someone is waiting for a special blacksmith like you. Then the instructor gives Hyun-Soo a set of armor, once used by the Lord of Light as a reward. Though it's rusted and has lost its original function. If it's you, you should be able to use it. Go and try. Accomplish what others cannot. At this point, the two people behind the scenes finally breathe a sigh of relief. Finally, there's a chance to see the possibility. The possibility of a blacksmith changing class to become the god of blacksmiths. After passing the hunter training ground, Hyun-Soo accepts the main quest and enters the territory. With all beginner tutorials complete, he's ready to begin his real adventure. But before that, he needs to return to reality to handle some matters. Though he's gotten used to being a blacksmith in the game, the most important thing right now is to solve his father's hospitalization and living expenses. Just then, Ji-hoon calls. I heard you passed the hunter training ground, so now you can use the auction house. The auction house is a place, specifically for trading in-game equipment. Take your equipment to the auction house and you can earn gold coins. 10 gold coins equals 10,000 won, so many people act as merchants there. This is why I wanted you to play Aries. At this point, Ji-hoon adds, do you know what I realized while playing this game? I've never seen weapons that could surpass what you and your father made. So didn't I tell you? You'll definitely succeed. Once you get the game capsule Aries rewards you with, you'll be even better. Then Hyun-Soo first fills his stomach. From now on, he'll focus all his attention on crafting and completing quests. Though it doesn't compare to the workload of a real-world blacksmith, playing the game also requires considerable physical stamina. For this, he exercises hard every day. Father, wait for me a little longer. I will definitely wake you up again. Then Hyun-Soo re-enters Aries and connects to the auction house. To display your auction items, please enter a shop name. Then he names the shop Hyun's Blacksmith. The next second, he's transported to Hyun's Blacksmith courtyard. At this moment, a notification window appears. You can now use the auction bulletin board anytime. Right now, he's thinking about what to put up. Besides Radiance, there's only one experimental piece made at the smithy. A rare grade sword is worth about 70 gold coins. But considering Ji-hoon said not to price it too cheap, he sets it at 100 gold coins. Hopefully, there will be good news. While waiting, he decides to continue learning about the system in the village. But the moment he lists it at auction, all players are shocked by the weapon's attributes. A level 1 creation, and made without even having a class. And most importantly, the auction price for this weapon keeps rising. Meanwhile, Bram from the Golden Shield Guild contacts the Vice Guild leader. That thing is absolutely amazing. I heard the person who made this weapon is a level 1 with no class, and made the finest sword from the crudest materials. More importantly, this sword has equipment enhancement. When enhancing, the lower the material grade, the lower the success rate. Even using materials of the same grade doesn't reduce the cost much. This sword's attributes can be used all the way to level 50. The guy named the weapon First Sword, a level 1 weapon with an active skill. I believe this sword is absolutely worth acquiring. Hearing Bram's statement, everyone in the guild expresses they want to buy this weapon. Meanwhile, after putting the sword up for auction, Hyun-Soo feels a bit embarrassed. What if it doesn't sell? Just then, a notification window appears. Your registered item, Hyun's first sword, has been sold. Please review the equipment in the adventurer's book. Right now, he's quite shocked. It sold this quickly, but the price surprises him even more. It actually sold for a full 1 million won. This is absolutely fantastic. The buyer is Bram from the Golden Shield Guild. At this moment, the Golden Shield Guild sends a message. Honored to purchase Hyun's first creation. Our guild doors are always open to outstanding players. The guild would like to sign an exclusive sales contract with you, or if you want to join the guild, you can contact me anytime. And he notices the Golden Shield Guild has 780,000 followers. Ji-hoon once said gaining followers is much harder than leveling up. Many followers means many players are paying attention to the guild. Attention connects to income. Though the blacksmith shop currently only has 82 followers, recruitment invitations from major guilds keep pouring in. Ares is waiting for blacksmiths who are slowly disappearing in reality. Precisely because blacksmiths possess unparalleled technical value, they shine brilliantly in Ares. Then Hyun-Soo arrives at the Lord's castle. He knows it's not yet time to join a guild because he hasn't even shown half of his skills. Next, he will determine his own value. Meanwhile, the Lord slowly speaks. Bell, is there really no way? Yes, my lord. There's a chance of failure during the restoration process. Attempting restoration is risky. It could damage the bow permanently. We need to find the continent's finest restoration expert, but most of those people have reclusive personalities and don't want to see anyone. Hearing this, the Lord is troubled. I can't abandon my territory's work to go find them myself. This is the only memento my father left behind. No one has seen this type of special bow. It looks like there's no way. At this moment, Bell shows a sinister smile. Turns out he's a level 100 player with the thief class. His approach to Lord Vance has a purpose. Then I'll give you the bow and the gold for restoration. Just give me the bow and I'll take it back to the capital for perfect restoration. Just then, Hyun-Soo suddenly appears behind them. I can restore it. That bow can be restored right here. At this moment, Lord Vance is utterly astonished. You're saying you can restore the burned bow? Guard, where did this guy come from? The guard immediately responds. My lord, he's carrying a recommendation letter from training instructor Ralston. Ralston? You mean the Ralston from the beginner hunter training ground? The Lord then speaks slowly. As the Lord of Baldan territory, I invite you to state your abilities and experience. Lord Vance demands to know your class and level. Hyun-Soo then speaks. My name is Hyun-Soo. I'm currently level 1 with no class. Hearing this, Bell at the side becomes furious. A mere level 1 dares to be so arrogant before the Lord, and you don't even have a class. Only level 80 blacksmiths can learn restoration skills. Don't you even know that? This is an epic grade recurve bow, you know? I spent an entire week on this. But what Hyun-Soo says next leaves him completely shocked. This isn't a recurve bow. It's a bow called a horn bow. At these words, everyone present falls silent. Meanwhile, Hyun-Soo speaks slowly. I heard from Guard Beck about the general situation. The bow your father passed down to you was burned, and you want to restore it. This is a bow with a unique form never seen before, gifted long ago by a mysterious foreigner. At this point, the Lord interrupts him. I'm usually tolerant toward foreigners, but I'm tired of hearing people talk nonsense about my family heirloom. From now on, you can only say things you can take responsibility for. Hearing this, Hyun-Soo immediately responds. I want to confirm something. Although this bow is a uniquely shaped bow gifted by a foreigner, it was made within the territory, wasn't it? When I walked into the Lord's Hall, I saw a painting of an animal that looks like a buffalo. Buffalo horns are a very special material in my world. However, the bowstring is rather peculiar. This bow doesn't use cattle sinew, but whale sinew. Can you explain that? That's right. That foreigner was my father's friend and also a blacksmith. What you saw was a painting of a herd of giant buffalo monsters moving. Giant buffalo horns and whale sinew are precious materials that can only be obtained from the swamps and river ports of Baldan territory. That person used these premium materials to make the bow and gifted it to my father. I never expected you to discover the material secrets that even level 100 blacksmiths failed to notice. I can't just watch this family heirloom disappear, so I've been searching for someone to repair the bow. Your name is Hyun-Soo, right? If possible, please help me restore this heirloom. Quest accepted. Restore Lord Vance's horn bow. Grade A, reward 500 gold coins. The Lord then signals to Bell. You may leave. I'll call for you when I need you. This makes Bell furious. Damn it, what's with this guy? Just you wait. I'll make you regret this. Moments later, the Lord asks Hyun-Soo what materials are needed to restore the bow. Can you help me find buffalo horn and whale sinew? I also need oak, mulberry, bamboo, and tools. As Hyun-Soo touches the horn bow, the next second, the method to restore it and the required materials appear before his eyes. His father had once taught him how to make bows. Now you need to learn with your hands the feeling of handling materials. With the support of the 99% synchronization game pod, he can now rely on muscle memory to make bows according to his father's methods. Meanwhile, the Lord comes to Hyun-Soo's side. Let me help you too. Moments later, the two divide the work and begin processing various materials. Before long, the Lord is gasping for breath and exhausted. But seeing Hyun-Soo's happy expression, he can't help but feel energized. Time quickly passes by a week. The Lord can barely endure anymore, but Hyun-Soo still needs his help making the bow body. My lord, you come to help me every day because you want to restore your father's heirloom with your own hands, right? That's right. This bow carries the memories of my father and me. What about you, Hyun-Soo? You look happy when making the horn bow. That's right. I also have many happy memories, but restoring memories still requires time and effort. Day 10, Day 15, Day 20. On the final day, the two finally complete the horn bow named Archer. Epic grade weapon, horn bow named Archer. Special abilities and attributes as follows. A horn bow more refined and powerful than the original. The scene shifts. The Lord approaches his father's statue. Father, are you watching? Just like back then, a mysterious foreigner has given me this horn bow. My lord, please try it quickly. Does it still feel the same as before? As the Lord draws the bow and releases an arrow, it strikes the target 10 meters away. It's different. This bow is even better than before. At this moment, a notification window appears. You've exceeded 100% performance. Restoration successful. Intimacy with the Lord has reached maximum level. Hyun-Soo, thank you. Compared to what you've done, the reward I'm giving you is far too little. So I'm giving you an additional 2,000 gold coins and you can freely use the blacksmith shop. Hearing this, Hyun-Soo is delighted. After all, 2,000 gold coins are worth over 2 million, enough for him to live on for a while. Then the Lord's tone shifts. But would you like to learn swordsmanship? The Lord proposes that Hyun-Soo learn swordsmanship. He was a swordsman first, then Lord of Baldan. He became famous throughout throughout the world with flame swordsmanship, capable of simultaneously killing monsters coming from all directions. This is the secret swordsmanship of the Flame Kingdom that protects the Lord of Baldine. Although Hyun-Soo is a natural-born blacksmith, the Lord sees swordsman talent in him. Combined with the contents of Instructor Ralston's recommendation letter, he's even more convinced of this fact. Hyun-Soo possesses instantaneous control over tools, and his depth of knowledge about various weapons is unbelievable. That's why the Lord wants to share the core of his swordsmanship with him. Skill quest: learn flame swordsmanship. Obtain the skill when proficiency reaches 80%. Time is short. Follow me quickly. The hardship will be no less than what I endured in the blacksmith shop. The following month passes quickly. While crafting the horn bow, Hyun-Soo also has to restore the Lord of Light's rusted armor and learn swordsmanship from the Lord. Before long, Hyun-Soo finally completes his swordsmanship training. Then comes the moment of parting. The Lord is curious. Hyun-Soo, where is your next destination? I want to choose my class. Before departing, Hyun-Soo organizes his equipment. Although the Lord of Light's armor is a relatively low level, fortunately the damage reflection skill compensates for this weakness. At the same time, he's also crafted a horn bow that increases accuracy by 60%. He then lists the newly crafted horn bow for auction. Hyun's second bow. Let's see how much it sells for this time. Meanwhile, a player gazes at the horn bow's attributes, deep in thought. This is truly unbelievable. Even the bow that Black, the nation's top-ranked player, made at level 10 is far inferior. That guy Hyun actually made this kind of bow at level 1 using low-grade materials. Smith, the world's #1 blacksmith, once said that Ares decides everything in this game. When Ares is moved by a certain player, it grants them corresponding class skills and titles. If the owner of Hyun's blacksmith maintains this level, someday he'll obtain a legendary class title like Smith. The speaker is Ren, leader of the Golden Shield Guild. The horn bow's final auction price is 2,050 gold coins. This shocks Hyun-Soo. Someone actually spent 2 million to buy a bow in the game? Now Hyun's blacksmith has reached 3,200 followers. Guild recruitment letters and weapon commission requests are too numerous to handle. Hyun-Soo then closes the book. He immediately heads toward his destination for this trip, the Blacksmith's Sanctuary, the Blacksmith's Tower. Moments later, Hyun-Soo arrives at the sanctuary, but he's curious about how exactly to enter. A notification window appears. This is the Blacksmith's Tower. To become a blacksmith, use a sword made in the magic smithy to break the seal. This lock-like seal. It seems to be a type of Martian pumice. He then looks toward the magic smithy nearby. You can learn here how to make the sword needed for the exam. Unlimited materials and tools are provided. But unlike ordinary smithies, this place will significantly shorten crafting time. However, swords made here can only be used for the exam. An exam to cut down the rock lock with a sword. Is this testing forging ability? Meanwhile, the sword blacksmith's tower master is complaining. Now the blacksmith profession has completely declined. They all chose to become blacksmiths just to earn gold coins. They have absolutely no interest in real blacksmith work. Blacksmiths have no hope left. All they want is the blacksmith title. They think swinging a hammer a few times makes them blacksmiths. Well, as long as I fulfill their demands, that's all that matters. So far, no one has appeared who can cut the seal stone. Such a person absolutely won't appear. Meanwhile, Hyun-Soo decides to make a Damascus sword, a weapon only top-tier blacksmiths can craft. Even the system recommends he forge the most basic short sword, but he shows no concern. Since the materials are available and he knows the method, surely he can at least try. In his memory, his father once taught him how to make this type of sword. As long as he follows his father's method, he should be able to pass this exam. Perfect forging facilities and equipment made with magic. Unlimited provision of various raw materials needed to make Damascus swords. It even shortens crafting time. This game is truly amazing. Meanwhile, the tower master is awakened by the vibrations. What's with this shaking? The entire tower is trembling, affected by someone's hammer strikes. What on earth is happening? As a thunderous sound echoes, a long sealed gate slowly opens. This scares the tower master into a cold sweat. Has someone who can cut the seal stone appeared? The blacksmith god has finally appeared. The tower master immediately responds. I've always measured ability through the seal stone. You, the blacksmith god, cut straight through the seal stone, so I cannot measure your ability. The tower master then leads Hyun-Soo to a location. This is actually a magic circle. This is a summoning circle. Take my hammer first. And the instant he receives the hammer, SS rank quest activated. This is the real exam that only you can complete. You must pass blacksmith god. As a blue light strikes, the next second, Hyun-Soo is teleported to an unfamiliar place. Damn it, how did the exam start so suddenly? Meanwhile, countless monster roars echo from ahead. SS rank quest subjugate the invading orc army. Damn it, this counts as a blacksmith quest? Just as the SS rank quest begins, a notification appears showing the completion condition. You must account for 70% of the total contribution within a group of 50 brave warriors to clear the stage. Subjugation Captain Han speaks slowly. It's great that you could come. The orc attacks on the Flame Kingdom are getting fiercer. Many equipment pieces have been damaged in battle. Can you quickly repair them with your skills? Hearing this, Hyun-Soo is shocked. You seem to have misunderstood. I haven't changed class to blacksmith yet, so I can't use skills. But what's that hammer in your hand? To this, Hyun-Soo immediately responds. This was given during the class change exam. I'm here to take a makeup exam. Then do you have combat experience? I'm still a beginner in combat. At this moment, the captain is speechless. I thought they sent us help. I didn't expect a rookie who still needs our guidance. The situation isn't good right now. Stay in the watchtower for now. There's a place where you can wait safely. Just then, a battle axe suddenly flies toward everyone. Seeing this, Hyun-Soo immediately swings his sword and deflects it. This leaves the captain at his side stunned. Hyun-Soo Hyun-soo then speaks slowly. Although I'm still just a beginner, can I join the battle? Moments later, Hyun-soo follows the squad to the battlefield. As long as I fight the same way I did against goblins, there shouldn't be any major problems. Hyun-soo, just follow Bane's squad. I'll teach you gradually. Bane responds. I'll charge in first. The next second, an orc suddenly launches an attack at the squad. The pressure feels different from fighting goblins. Is this what real combat is like? But I won't lose. As a figure flashes by, the orc's head is severed on the spot. Looks like a month of training wasn't wasted. Even Bane is shocked. You're really classless? That's incredible. While speaking, another orc launches an attack at Bane. Seeing this, Hyun-soo immediately switches to his horn bow. As he suddenly releases an arrow, the next second, the orc is sent flying dozens of meters away. Hyun-soo then fires multiple arrows in succession. Unexpectedly, they all hit the orc's heads. Bane is shocked, sending a massive orc flying with one arrow. Is that even possible? The captain shouts. Bane, snap out of it! An orc is attacking Hyun-soo. At this critical moment, Hyun-soo switches his weapon to Radiance Dance. It can indiscriminately attack all enemies within a 10-meter radius. In moments, the surrounding orcs are completely wiped out by Hyun-soo. His contribution has now reached 19%. No wonder Master Leo sent him over. Fighting alongside him, we can definitely accomplish what we've never achieved. He's truly amazing. Everyone listen. Today, together with Hyun-soo, we'll annihilate the orc army. Under Hyun-soo's performance, the subjugation squad's morale soars. But at this moment, he also notices something. Why is the contribution rising so slowly? After all, his orc killing speed is much faster than theirs. At this moment, a hidden quest suddenly appears ahead. A new scenario that has never appeared before. Level 51 orc warriors have appeared. This terrifies everyone present. They finally appeared. The ones we could never defeat. Our nemesis. Only now do they realize they're surrounded. But there's no possibility of retreat now. Captain, we're ready. Today we must defeat them. We absolutely will not retreat. That's right. We can't keep going like this. Everyone, let's fight to the death. The next second, everyone charges at the orcs. Meanwhile, Hyun-soo provides cover fire from the rear with his bow. But he quickly discovers the arrows are ineffective against the orc warriors. This horn bow has penetration and accuracy enhancement functions. But the orc warrior's skin is like solid armor. Bow attacks alone are completely insufficient. Facing the situation, the captain still refuses to retreat. The next second, as the orc warrior swings fiercely, Hans's right arm is severed on the spot. Damn it! Captain Hans, are you alright? After the orc warriors appeared, everyone now realizes they cannot penetrate the orc's armor no matter what. This time, everyone will surely be completely wiped out. Just then, Hyun-soo shouts to everyone. Everyone, if we continue like this, we'll only suffer heavy losses. First, we need to form a defensive formation, then quickly retreat to the forest behind. I'll catch up with you immediately. Hearing this, Bane immediately orders. Everyone follow Hyun-soo's instructions. Secure the captain and fall back to regroup. Retreat to the forest as quickly as possible and prepare a defensive formation. Bane reminds Hyun-soo that their speed will slow down in the forest, so they can only buy a little time. Can you hold out for 5 minutes? Of course! We'll definitely hold out. Moments later, Hyun-soo arrives at a bamboo grove. Arrows can't pierce solid armor? No, there must be a way. He looks at the hammer in his hand. Leo's replication hammer. Epic grade. Passive skill can replicate consumables. Active skill shortens crafting time. With this, it's definitely possible. Meanwhile, everyone is struggling to resist the orc attacks, but clearly they're struggling. To hold out for 5 minutes seems too difficult for them. Just as the orc warrior is about to swing his massive axe, the next second, an arrow pierces straight through his neck. This leaves Bane stunned. What's going on? Turns out Hyun-soo has crafted new arrows. As he suddenly releases an arrow, it instantly pierces through an orc warrior's head. He then draws his bow again. Short arrow. Rare grade. Special ability, penetration increased by 70%. Arrow speed increased by 60%. The arrow shaft is shorter, making flight speed faster than ordinary arrows. Possesses terrifying destructive power capable of shattering rocks. Made from split bamboo, and then forged with a hammer into shard arrows. Paired with a horn bow, these arrows will surely pierce their defenses. Meanwhile, everyone launches attacks at the orcs. They must create attack opportunities for Hyun-soo. Under Hyun-soo's continuous barrage of shots, the orc warriors fall to the ground one after another. Hyun-soo obtains the title Orc Slayer. Attack power against orcs increased by 15%. Orcs feel fear toward you. The orcs are so terrified they flee in terror. However, Hyun-soo has no intention of letting them escape. As he suddenly releases an arrow, it instantly pierces through the orc's head. A notification window appears. SS rank quest, subjugate the invading orc army. Complete. Final contribution 92%. You've cleared with outstanding performance. The subjugation squad cheers for your outstanding performance. The subjugation squad trusts your command. Hidden achievement unlocked, battlefield leader. 10 charisma points gained. Captain Hans approaches Hyun-soo. I thought I'd never defeat the orc warriors in my lifetime. I never expected you to accomplish this so brilliantly. Thank you so much. Before he finishes speaking, everyone shows Hyun-soo the highest respect. I must thank you all too. You finally helped me complete my quest. Now let's return to the blacksmith's tower first. Meanwhile, in the central tower of the blacksmith hall, the sword blacksmith speaks slowly. The blacksmith's tower is gradually declining now. All the honor and glory have been monopolized by knights. Only those blinded by money choose to become blacksmiths. We need someone who truly possesses a blacksmith's soul. Someone qualified to wield this sword. Many have tried, but none were the one from the prophecy. Long ago, the blacksmith god left a prophecy that a successor would appear in the future, and blacksmiths would prosper once more. A blacksmith at the side mocks. Isn't this Leo, the only one among all tower masters to obtain qualification for the sword exam? Are you deceiving us, chosen one? You summoned us all here just to grant exam qualifications to this foreigner? The speaker is Kurson, master of the archery Archery Blacksmith's Tower. Curson, did you read the letter I sent you? He passed the exam we designed, so he's qualified to take the trial. Moreover, he hasn't even changed class yet, but he led soldiers and eliminated all the orc warriors with his blacksmith skills. Hearing this, everyone present finds it hard to believe. Complete annihilation? Without even changing class? That exam was designed based on the standard of the blacksmith god successor, so this sword will provide the final answer. You'll see it right away. A subordinate speaks slowly. Master Leo, Master Hyun-Soo has arrived at the hall. Understood. Bring him here quickly. Moments later, Hyun-Soo arrives at the hall. Welcome, foreigner. You've passed the exam and earned the qualification to enter the blacksmith sanctuary, and you've qualified to challenge the blacksmith god's prophecy sword. At this, Curson shouts dismissively. The bow you made is only second rate, but your luck was good. Without an epic grade bow, you wouldn't have passed the exam at all. Now try pulling the sword. Let's see if the goddess of luck will favor you again. Hyun-Soo falls into thought. These people are all masters of the blacksmith's tower. Each one is a legendary level super famous NPC in Ares. These blacksmiths surely have astounding levels and titles. Though impressive, he doesn't feel his abilities are inferior to theirs. If competing without titles, there might be a chance. Just then, the prophecy sword suddenly transforms into dazzling light. The next second, the light enters directly into Hyun-Soo's body. The sword suddenly disappeared? What's going on? But Leo appears exceptionally excited. The prophecy has come true. So this is what it meant. All these years we've created rituals and procedures, but the true successor doesn't even need to touch the sword. Curson appears somewhat shocked. Damn it, I don't acknowledge this guy. Meanwhile, a notification window appears. Congratulations, you've unlocked Ares' first divine class. You have changed class to blacksmith god. Hyun-Soo is shocked. A divine class? And Ares' very first divine class? You've obtained the unique title, SS grade blacksmith god. This title removes all material grade restrictions when crafting equipment. Your proficiency will also increase based on the type of equipment you craft. As a blacksmith, you will be stronger than anyone. Class quest activated. Upon reaching level 100, the sword trial begins. Everyone present begins discussing. Who would have thought the sword would choose a foreigner? But Curson completely refuses to acknowledge it. We Tower Masters have been waiting for the great successor to receive the blacksmith god's revelation. We can't just rely on the sword's choice and consider it the blacksmith god's will. But Leo retorts, the prophecy is absolute. Curson responds dismissively. I'm not being unreasonable. Only someone recognized by all Tower Masters can become the blacksmith god's successor. That's also part of the prophecy. Therefore I, Curson, master of the archery blacksmith's tower, challenge this foreigner to a blacksmith's duel. Unless you defeat me in a duel, I will not acknowledge you. If you lose, you must relinquish the position of blacksmith god. Leo tries to stop him, but unexpectedly, the other Tower Masters tacitly approve of his approach. You can also refuse. In that case, I'll give you a vice Tower Master position. Hyun-Soo accepts his duel request on the spot. I accept your duel. Blacksmith god divine class skill. You can use divine crafting. After all, blacksmiths prove themselves through their craft. Right after Hyun-Soo agrees to the duel, a notification window appears the next second. Blacksmith duel, S rank. Defeat Curson to claim victory. Our dueling method is different from knights. We pour our souls into our work at the smithy. We duel with the swords we craft. Whoever's sword breaks first loses. There's a top-tier smithy in the hall. You can use blacksmith skills now, so forging a sword within a day shouldn't be a problem, right? If you truly are the blacksmith god. With that, Curson turns and leaves. At this moment, Leo senses Hyun-Soo is getting anxious. After all, Curson's abilities among the Tower Masters are exceptional. Even with divine skills, growth takes time, but Hyun-Soo remains unfazed. You're right, if this were me before the class change, I'd definitely lose. In this game, characters gain powerful skills and buffs based on level and titles. Plus, as Tower Masters, they possess special abilities. But when Hyun-Soo changed his class to Blacksmith God, that gap vanished. If it's purely about skill, the gap becomes even more obvious. After acquiring the divine skill Divine Crafting, he can create any equipment with custom effects. However, achieving higher level effects increases the crafting difficulty. The effectiveness of these effects ranges from 0 to 100%, depending on his crafting expertise. Meanwhile, Curson is forging his own sword. He was once a sword-forging blacksmith. His family passed down sword-forging techniques through generations. He inherited this craft from his father, but then Leo appeared, surpassing him in skill. That's why he couldn't become the sword blacksmith's tower master. Initially, he accepted Leo's emergence, but he never expected Leo would bring an outsider to surpass him. This is something he absolutely cannot allow. At the same time, Hyun-Soo has already forged the sword's basic form. Imbuing abilities and effects into equipment follows the fundamental principle of trade-offs. To win the duel, he must first ensure maximum hardness and maximize the weapon breaker ability value. To obtain the desired ability, he must create a high-grade weapon. Leo believes Hyun-Soo's stats and ability values are at most rare tier. As the blacksmith god, what are your true capabilities and intentions? Before long, the day of the duel arrives. Looks like you did manage to make something within a day. Let me take a good look at the divine heir's craftsmanship. Curson then draws his sword, Black Knight, unique grade, special ability, hardness 35%, sword saint enhancement level 2, passive skill weapon destroyer, active skill Black Knight's radiance. Seeing this, this, Leo feels deeply worried. Even the spectators can't help but praise Kurson. He's truly remarkable. To forge a perfect, unique grade dueling sword in just one night. Naturally, he poured all his family's secret techniques into this blade. Now let me see how your sword fares. And the moment Hyun-soo draws his sword, everyone present is utterly shocked. Hyun's first custom sword, rare grade. Seeing this, Kurson immediately breaks into a smile. Leo, you've made a grave mistake this time. The next second, Kurson decisively launches an attack at Hyun-soo. Hyun-soo calmly swings his sword to defend. As a figure flashes by, one of the swords suddenly shatters. At this moment, everyone freezes in shock, because the broken sword is Black Knight in Kurson's hand. How did you do that? A sword isn't determined by grade alone. Hyun's first custom sword, rare grade, special ability, active skill. This sword has a 65% chance to sever other swords. One of a kind. At this moment, his father's teachings echo in Kurson's ears. The blacksmith god will descend upon this land someday. That person will shatter our common sense and lead us. Someday, we too will receive his guidance. Merely destroying swords won't convince the tower masters, so I'll forge a sword capable of severing other swords. Flashing back to earlier, Leo didn't agree with Hyun-soo's idea. After all, it was simply too difficult. But Hyun-soo believes that creating the desired equipment depends on a blacksmith's skill and tireless effort. Bold choices beyond common sense, decisive judgment, excellent knowledge and ability to achieve goals. Hyun-soo possesses all of this. Blacksmith god. Can I also forge such a sword? Of course. Nothing is impossible in this world. Finally, Kurson acknowledges Hyun-soo's abilities. Archery blacksmith tower master Kurson greets the blacksmith god. Right after Hyun-soo completes the duel quest, Kurson approaches him with a treasure chest. Here are 500 gold coins, please accept them. Also, this is a scroll passed down only among blacksmith tower masters. This scroll contains the crafting method for a legendary grade bow. You have obtained one of the 10 treasures of the blacksmith's tower, the legendary bow's crafting method. Kurson lacks the skill to complete this bow, so he entrusts it to Hyun-soo. Only when he walks the path of the mighty will its true value be revealed. At this moment, he speaks slowly. The blacksmith god has finally appeared. We must work harder to improve as well. So Hyun-soo, please aim to become the strongest. Please explore the wider world. The divine journey has only just begun. The scene shifts. Hyun-soo tells Ji-hoon what happened over the past few days. Hearing this, Ji-hoon is shocked. You actually changed to a divine class? I just thought your craftsmanship was too good to waste, so I urged you to play Ares. I never expected you'd have such talent for gaming. So what's different after changing to a divine class? Doesn't feel much different. More importantly, I need to pay my father's hospitalization fees tomorrow. They've accumulated to over 10 million during this time. Ji-hoon mentions the new medicine that Hyun-soo asked him to investigate. The new medicine has no insurance coverage and will cost at least 20 million. And that's not even counting your burn injuries. You can't earn much money just from your class. Selling crafted equipment, your stamina won't keep up. What matters most is level and reputation. Divine growth starts now. You need to meet Ares' most famous players and build good relationships with them. Only then, even with the same level quests, you'll get more rewards and rare materials. Then use those to craft top-tier equipment. So I have an idea. Once I've accumulated peak achievements, I'll bring you along to level up. Meanwhile, online discussions are buzzing. Rod, eternally ranked 21st, has finally become legendary grade. Heard he caught Sword King Barad, meaning he landed a hit on the Sword King. Everyone's curious how he managed it. The scene shifts. Hyun-soo stares at the overdue payment notification on his phone, lost in thought. 30 million a month? Quest rewards plus auction house income still aren't enough, but he can't abandon his father's treatment. At this moment, a notification sounds on his phone. Hyun's custom sword successfully auctioned for 53,310 gold coins. Without hesitation, Hyun-soo immediately settles the hospitalization fees. Moments later, he returns home. He knows full well he absolutely cannot stop playing Ares. Meanwhile, Rod sends Hyun-soo a thank you letter because, with the sword Hyun-soo crafted, he has passed Barad's test and has fulfilled his long-held wish. Master Hyun, if everyone knew the value of your sword, they'd know spending 50 million to buy it was absolutely worth it. The sword that struck the Sword King and created an opening. Even Barad was completely baffled at that moment. Master Hyun, Sword King Barad of Gyard Kingdom is waiting for you. He wishes for you to forge him a sword. Please go meet him. Now I finally resolved my father's treatment expenses. I need to meet King Barad and reclaim my lost blacksmith shop. On the other side, a burly man slowly steps out of a car. The last blacksmith shop of this era? Hyun-soo, only 1 month left until the promised time. The scene shifts. Hyun-soo learns he cannot meet Barad because a level 10 character has no qualification to meet the king. Meeting high-level NPCs requires high level and reputation. To meet Barad, he need at least level 200. However, there is a way. The Gyard Martial Tournament, an annual event held in Gyard Kingdom for players between levels 50 and 60. Sword King Barad is always searching for talented individuals. The tournament is about to begin. Barad will personally award the prize to the victor. If you want to meet him, this is your only option. The scene shifts. Following Leo's suggestion, Hyun-soo arrives at Castle Territory. It's the border between Flame and Gyard. They battle the undead every day. They need your abilities more than anyone. Castle Territory, a battlefield territory blocking undead monster attacks. According to Leo, it's the fastest place to level up. No matter what kind of quest, I must complete it. Moments later, Hyun-soo finally enters Castle Territory. At this moment, Commander Rand greets him. Are you reinforcements from the capital? The number of undead has increased recently. Initially, whenever the sacred Ram's bell rang, the attacking undead would weaken and become easy to repel. In the past, the bell's toll kept distant undead at bay, but recently, the Ram's bell shattered into fragments. This sudden disaster left us helpless, so so we could only strengthen our defenses, but the enemy seems to have noticed and began gathering. Hyun-soo is curious. Can't the bell be repaired? Actually, I was sent by Sword Blacksmith Tower Master Leo. Why didn't you say so earlier? We've been waiting for you. Go see the commander right away. Moments later, Castle Knight Commander Kyle greets Hyun-soo. Are you the one sent by the great Leo? If so, Master Leo should know the Rammus bell cannot be repaired. The Lord has secretly sought several people to repair it, but the answer is always the same: shattered into pieces, impossible to repair. One of those people even stayed in castle searching for a repair method, but it was all in vain. She's apparently level 290. Hyun-soo, what's your level? Hearing this, Hyun-soo immediately responds, I'm only level 13. You came to help us, so I don't blame you, but your level is too low. Find something you can actually do. Castle territory faces an existential crisis. When the Undead Legion mobilizes, that will be our final hour. My duty is to protect the Lord and the people until the very end. I will fulfill my duty. At this moment, a soldier nearby shouts urgently, the undead are attacking the eastern wall. Seeing this, the commander immediately orders, focus on the gate. Hold the line at all costs. Rand, come with me. Oh, and keep what we discussed confidential. At that moment, it occurs to Hyun-soo that he should be fine in combat like the orcs. Territory defense quest activated. Defeat the attacking monsters and defend the gate. The next second, both sides engage in fierce battle. Only holy weapons can kill the undead. You must strike the same spot multiple times. As Hyun-soo suddenly fires an arrow, it pierces straight through an undead's head. This scene leaves everyone present utterly shocked. He can kill the undead without holy power? Hyun-soo then fires multiple arrows again, instantly slaying multiple undead. This is amazing. Looks pretty good. If things continue like this, we should be able to complete the quest. At this moment, a notification window suddenly appears. New storyline activated. Defeat the giant siege undead. Damn it, get the commander here. Giant siege undead, level 89. But the commander has his hands full. Defending the gate, he can't break away. At this rate, the walls will be in serious danger. At this moment, Hyun-soo suggests that he should draw the enemy's attention. The next second, he draws his longsword and charges toward the giant undead. As a figure flashes by, all surrounding undead are slain completely. Now I just need to defeat you. Hyun-soo then draws its attention and lures it away from the walls. At this moment, the giant undead suddenly lifts its foot to stomp on him. Although Hyun-soo dodges with agile footwork, he clearly isn't having an easy time. At the same time, Hyun-soo switches weapons to the horn bow. As he fires an arrow with full force, the arrow strikes straight into its head, but clearly, this has no effect. Damn it, this can't hurt it at all. While Hyun-soo is dazed, the undead strikes him, sending him flying dozens of meters. HP drops below 10%. Warning, at 0% HP, you will be forcibly logged out. He absolutely cannot let himself be forced out. If he doesn't complete this storyline, he can't participate in the Gyard Martial Tournament, his father's hospitalization fees and his own treatment costs, and reclaiming the blacksmith shop, all would be impossible. He doesn't want to return to the dark past. To change his life, he chose this game. So he absolutely cannot give up here. The next second, he suddenly fires an arrow, piercing through the undead's right leg. The undead then attacks with sonic waves. In an instant, Hyun-soo's HP drops to barely 3%. At this moment, facing the undead's assault, Hyun-soo draws the bow with all his strength and fires an arrow. This is far from over. But the next second, the bowstring snaps. Before Hyun-soo can react, a giant hand smashes down on him. His HP now stands at 1%. Damn it, I absolutely cannot give up like this. At the same time, a notification window appears. You have met special conditions, HP below 5%, intense conviction, and willpower. You qualify as the Divine Blacksmith. You have acquired a new skill, Divine Emergency Crafting. You must craft a weapon within 20 seconds. Emergency weapons can only be used for 30 seconds. Without hesitation, Hyun-soo immediately swings his hammer and begins crafting. After all, this is the last chance to complete the storyline. After 30 seconds of relentless effort, Hyun-soo finally crafts the weapon at the last moment. With a strike using all his remaining strength, the massive undead is cleaved in two. Finally defeated. You have defeated the giant siege undead. Your level has increased to 38. This level should be enough to participate in the martial tournament. With that, he collapses to the ground unconscious. When he opens his eyes again, everyone is gathered around him. Hyun-soo, you're finally awake. You're a true hero. Thanks to you, we survived today's crisis. How did you do it? It's a long story. Besides, no matter how I explain it, no one would believe me anyway. The undead, similar to evil spirits, fear holy power most. Knowing this trait, Hyun-soo first thought of the four-symbol sword. This sword is said to repel evil spirits and dispel disasters. Thanks to his father mentioning restoration that day, he was able to bring this sword into existence. At this moment, the commander pulls something from his chest. This is your reward, roughly 2,000 gold coins. Then he speaks slowly. I misjudged you, assuming you were like the other outsiders. Please accept my apology. Hyun-soo expresses understanding. Thank you for acknowledging me. Hyun-soo and Kyle's intimacy has risen to maximum level. At the same time, Kyle mentions he has a quest for him. Please repair the Rammus bell. That strike you made, I felt holy power from your sword. If it's you, you might actually succeed. Hearing this, Hyun-soo apologizes. Thank you for the offer, but I need to go to Gyard Kingdom. At this moment, the commander mentions something important he forgot. The Lord has a legendary mineral. If you repair the bell, he might give it to you. A legendary mineral? The scene shifts. Kyle brings Hyun-soo to a location. This is the Rammus bell. He's shocked. This isn't just broken, it's completely shattered into pieces. You say you can repair it. Can I trust your words? This leaves Hyun-soo speechless. In the end, he can only agree reluctantly. At this moment, a voice comes from behind. Commander, that bell cannot be repaired. Even I, At level 290 couldn't do it. Can you? You're not a fraud, are you? Hearing this, Hyun-soo is completely dumbfounded. Who are you? And why do you say that? I'm a blacksmith at a higher level than you. At this moment, the commander speaks up. This is Nael, the master blacksmith I told you about. She contributed greatly to our campaign against the undead. So what? Level 38, helping clear undead and claiming to repair the bell? I don't know what tricks you use, but this bell cannot be repaired. Don't think you can exploit castle territory in its dying state. Nael was originally a team leader in the Golden Shield Guild, but one day, she chose to leave the guild because the guild planned to hire an anonymous player with a 500 million annual salary. You don't know. Blacksmith Hyun's first sword sold for 50 million. Once he joins, our guild will grow even faster. But Nael mentioned they'd hired blacksmiths before, but in the end, the blacksmith took the money and ran. So, exhausted, Nael ultimately chose to leave the guild. She then came to the dying castle territory. Unable to bear watching these people suffer, she decided to stay and repair the Ramos bell. At this moment, Hyun-soo steps forward to examine the Ramos bell. He discovers it's completely damaged beyond repair. The next second, Hyun-soo swings his hammer and smashes down. This leaves Nael standing nearby completely stunned. What are you doing? I can restore it. Hearing this, Nael is furious. Don't you understand what irreparable means? At the same time, a massive wave of undead launches another attack on castle territory. A notification window appears. Castle territory is updating. After the update, castle will become undead territory. Damn it! Castle territory is actually becoming undead territory. It's all over now. It's not over yet. We can stop this if we repair the Rama's bell. Don't you want to protect castle territory? Of course, but how do we do it? Hyun-soo then places the Rama's bell fragments into his inventory. Let's protect this place together. At the same time, the commander says he'll buy as much time as he can and that fixing the bell is up to you, Hyun-soo. He then leads his soldiers charging toward the enemy. The scene shifts. The two arrive at a smithy. So what's your plan? When I smashed the fragments earlier, the holy power didn't disappear. This means the material itself contains holy power. I'll reforge these materials and create a new bell. Once complete, the holy power will become even stronger. Nael is puzzled. I've never seen such a skill. Repairing doesn't necessarily require a skill. Let's start by melting the materials. At this moment, Nael is shocked. Is he going to craft it by hand? Come here quickly. I can't do this alone. Meanwhile, the game developers are watching all this behind the scenes. Looks like this update is going to fail. What are you talking about? Just because of this blacksmith? Don't worry. Players absolutely cannot repair it. At this moment, a female developer speaks slowly. He's not an ordinary blacksmith. The scene shifts. The commander is fighting fiercely on the front lines, but the enemy numbers are overwhelming. Before long, they're quickly defeated. Just when he thinks it's all about to end, the next second a bell tolls. It instantly purifies all the undead present. The Rama's bell is finally repaired. At the same time, the developers behind the scenes are shocked by what they're witnessing. How is this possible? That guy actually repaired it. What's going on? The update really failed? The team leader is at a loss about this. This player hasn't slept for a week since the update countdown started. A whole week without sleep? Flashing back to 5 days ago. Hyun-soo and the others immediately headed to Castle Territory's smithy. After remelting the fragments and extracting base materials, more precisely, extracting holy power, Hyun-soo handles the design blueprints while Nael prepares supplies and manages workers. Begin using divine crafting. This skill grants enhanced power against the undead, while also unlocking new abilities capable of harming monsters. Infuse it with the desire to protect castle territory. Everyone works together with united effort. Imbue it with even stronger holy power. 4 days remaining, 3 days remaining, 1 day remaining. At this moment, Nael wakes to the sound of hammering. Hyun-soo has already completed the Rama's bell. At the same time, Nael acquires the learner title. Witnessing the master blacksmith's technique, she is utterly stunned. Could this person truly be a master craftsman? Master blacksmith proficiency increased by 22%. Can I ask you something? Are you blacksmith Hyun? That's right, Hyun-soo confirms. The next second, the Rama's bell emits a golden glow. This bell is crafted magnificently. It's practically a work of art. At the same time, a notification appears. Hyun's second custom bell. Special ability, Purify Undead. Those who resist the undead receive blessings. A divine artifact recreated from the irreparable. At this moment, Nael is amazed. Because it was recreated, the effects are even stronger. This is the first time I've seen someone accomplish something like this. Hyun-soo, please let me stay with you from now on. Is that a confession? That's impossible. Back to the present. With Hyun-soo's every strike, all the undead are purified. In moments, the undead are routed and flee in disarray. The new bell eliminated the undead and stopped the update. New storylines can continue to be created. Finally succeeded. Thank goodness we made it in time. The next second, Hyun-soo falls unconscious from accumulated fatigue and collapses to the ground. Quest, Rama's bell repair complete. Rewards modified. At the same time, online discussions focus on Blacksmith Hyun. Heard the reason Ares' castle update failed is because he repaired the Rama's bell. In an instant, everyone is discussing Blacksmith Hyun. Meanwhile, Hyun-soo finally wakes from unconsciousness. Hyun's blacksmith followers, 101,655. Seeing this, he's shocked. This works too? Luckily, I'd engraved my name on the bell. This way, everyone who visits castle territory will see that bell. At this moment, the commander enters Hyun-soo's room. The savior of our territory has finally awakened. The Lord just awarded you the reward for repairing the bell. This is 330,000 gold coins. Hyun-soo is thrilled. After all, this is 330 million. With this money, he can buy back the blacksmith shop. Then an attendant nearby brings out a treasure chest. This is what the Lord bestows upon you. You have obtained the legendary mineral orichalcum. Thank you so much. Unlike other outsiders, you didn't give up, but protected our territory. I sincerely thank you. It's nothing. I just did what I should. Though it might seem a bit rude, I need to go back to where I was before. The next next second, Hyun-Soo logs out of the game. The scene shifts. Hyun-Soo transfers 330 million to a man. Looks like you really succeeded. You're quite remarkable. The speaker is real estate investor Kang Hak-soo. Flashing back to 1 year ago. To repay massive treatment expenses, Hyun-Soo sold the blacksmith shop to Hak-soo, but he was deeply reluctant in his heart. So he asked Hak-soo if he might have a chance to buy back the shop later. What nonsense are you talking about? Buying a nearly ruined blacksmith shop costs a lot of money. That money would be better spent buying a new building. No, I must buy it back, because it's filled with memories of my father and me. In the end, Hak-soo gave him 1 year. In 1 year, I'll sell it immediately. Remember that. I hope you'll take the initiative to contact me when the time is right. At this moment, Hyun-Soo expresses his gratitude. Can I ask you something? Why were you willing to help me? That's because you're the first person to propose buying a property back. Seeing your determination, I couldn't help but root for you. You don't need to thank me. You kept your promise. I'm the one who should thank you. Do you know about the game Ares? Of course. That game is extremely popular. Actually, I'm a blacksmith in Ares. That's wonderful. That profession suits you perfectly. So I'd like to craft equipment for you. Hearing this, Hak-soo immediately becomes interested. Can you make custom equipment according to my requests? Can you create weapons with any effect, type, or grade? Of course. Whatever requirements you have, I can fulfill them. The scene shifts. Hyun-Soo logs back into Ares. At this moment, Nael greets him. This is the first time we're meeting since we dealt with the undead. Let me introduce myself. I'm the strategic team leader of the Golden Shield Guild, and the person who helped the guild grow to its current position. That day, I became certain. Hyun-Soo, you will someday become one of the top players. So I'll get straight to the point. If you establish a guild, I want to be your first member. Of course, I'm looking forward to your guidance. But before that, I want to meet the Sword King first. Hearing this, Nael is utterly shocked. You're going to meet Sword King Barad, one of the 10 legends? That's right. I'm competing in the Gaillard Martial Tournament. I heard Barad himself will present the award to the victor. You're right. Many rising stars participate in the martial tournament. It won't be easy. That's why I must win. Don't worry, I'll win using what I do best. The scene shifts. The day of the Gaillard Martial Tournament arrives. Strangers, welcome to the Gaillard Martial Tournament. The tournament will begin immediately after I leave. Please defeat the monsters that are about to appear, although you cannot see him. His Majesty is always watching you, so please mind your conduct. Good luck to you all. The next second, violent tremors strike. Then a massive stone golem appears before everyone. Survive the golem's attacks. Time limit 1 minute. Martial Tournament first trial. Those who hunt the stone golem will receive rewards. Stone golem, level 109. Seeing this, everyone present freezes. The level is that high? Before they finish speaking, a player is instantly killed by the golem's strike. Damn it, this is completely different from the intel. How are we supposed to defeat this thing? Meanwhile, Hyun-Soo watches calmly from the side. On the other side, an attendant rushes frantically toward the Great Hall because the stone golem was supposed to appear in the advanced tournament. At this rate, all the outsiders participating will be wiped out. Your Majesty, please stop the competition immediately. But the Sword King refuses on the spot. Haven't you noticed yet? Look closely. The martial artist among them. The next second, Hyun-Soo decisively fires an arrow at the golem, but it dodges by tilting its head aside. Hyun's third custom creation, an item that automatically returns to the player's hand, the Orichalcum short arrowhead. Seeing this, all the players present freeze in shock. Did that arrow just return to his hand? This was the reward Hyun-Soo received last time in Castle Territory. The legendary Orichalcum is an item that exists only in myths. Its performance is indeed exceptional. Under Hyun-Soo's shot, the golem has now entered a 4-second stun state. Without hesitation, everyone present launches their attacks on the golem. But after a fierce barrage of attacks, the golem takes no damage whatsoever. In that very instant, the golem's gaze snapped toward Hyun-Soo, then charges straight at him. Seeing this, everyone begins to scatter in all directions. At the same time, the stone golem swings a fierce punch. Immense power sweeps across the area instantly. Fortunately, Hyun-Soo switches weapons and blocks it. However, the victory is short-lived. The longsword shatters with a resounding crack. Even Hyun-Soo is sent flying dozens of meters away. On the other side, an attendant is trying to persuade the Sword King. Your Majesty, this contestant seems to have reached his limit. We must stop the match. But the Sword King appears completely unconcerned. At this moment, the crystal suddenly emits waves of red light. The next second, the Sword King is shocked by the scene before him. A long blade pierces straight through the stone golem's chest. Divine emergency crafting complete. The Damascus crescent blade possesses the ability to cut through stone. As the stone golem dissipates, the long blade in Hyun-Soo's hand slowly fades away as well. Immediately, countless level-up notifications appear ahead. By defeating the stone golem, Hyun-Soo gains 14 levels in one go. A nearby player is shocked. You actually defeated the stone golem. It was originally designed to be undefeatable. However, before Hyun-Soo can answer, he faints on the spot. At the same time, the organizer makes an announcement. Attention all contestants. Due to an error by the organizers, this martial tournament ends here. Moments later, news of Hyun-Soo defeating the stone golem trends rapidly. Everyone look, there's writing on the weapon. It seems to be the same person who repaired the Rama's bell. This causes Hyun's blacksmith's reputation to grow even stronger. Due to the unexpected incident, many players demand accountability from the operators. But their complaints go nowhere because this was Ares' own decision. However, something unexpected does occur. The Sword King summons player Hyun-Soo. Hearing this, the team leader is shocked. Doesn't clearing the arena take time? Why summon him so quickly? Damn it, looks like overtime again tonight. That player's thinking is beyond our common sense. We can't predict his actions at all. Exactly. What will happen if player Hyun-Soo's intimacy with the Sword King reaches maximum level? If he learns the Sword Sword King's swordsmanship, he'll definitely become the finest blacksmith. But it won't be that easy. The Sword King doesn't grant such favors lightly. On the other side, Hyun-Soo is heading to the Sword King's palace. Stranger, listen, you were supposed to be rewarded in front of everyone, but due to the accident, it's been simplified. Let me handle it personally. Everyone acknowledges your performance as a weapon expert yesterday. To express respect for you, I've decided to grant you 13,000 gold coins as a reward. At this moment, Hyun-Soo slowly speaks. Your Majesty, I heard you've been looking for me. What did you say? Damn it, how dare you be so disrespectful to His Majesty. I am Hyun-Soo, the blacksmith of Hyun's blacksmith. The Sword King raises his hand, signaling them to quiet down. That's right, he's the guest I've been waiting for. Hyun-Soo, the blacksmith of Hyun's blacksmith. I would like to pay my respects to your Majesty, King Barad. I appreciate your patience. One of Ares' 10 legendary figures, Sword King Barad. Hyun-Soo slowly says, my journey here was filled with danger. You should know why I summoned you. Of course, don't you wish to commission a weapon? Indeed. My request was refused by the Empire's finest blacksmith and the sword blacksmith's tower master. But do you think you can take on this task? The next second, a powerful pressure descends upon him. I came here believing in only one thing, and that is my ability. Hearing this, the Sword King immediately laughs heartily. What an interesting stranger. Bring out what I've prepared. I believe in your ability. Centennial Cold Iron, a special mineral formed over 100 years by absorbing cold energy, possessing fire-resistant and ice-resistant properties. Seeing this, Hyun-Soo is very excited. After all, this is something that only exists in martial arts novels. The Sword King states his requirements. I want an epic grade weapon or higher, one that can release cold energy. If you can do it, I'll fulfill all your requests. If you disappoint me, you'll never set foot in Gyard Kingdom again. The next second, a quest window appears before him. King's Crafting Commission, S-rank quest, earn the King's recognition. Success, 1 wish granted. Failure, permanent exile from Gyard Kingdom. Sword King Barad commissions the crafting of a sword. This is an opportunity to make a request to Barad. I will live up to your Majesty's expectations. I will definitely succeed. The scene shifts. A knight is watching Hyun-Soo's every move from behind. Gyard Kingdom Vice Knight Commander Bella, level 301. Being watched constantly feels strange, even though she's a stranger. But this is normal. After all, no one trusts strangers easily. At this moment, Bella slowly says, don't mind me. Please focus on your work. That guy should know he only has one chance. Let me watch him fail. At this moment, a notification appears. The doorbell is ringing. Excuse me, something urgent came up in my world. Can I briefly go handle it? Moments later, Hyun-Soo logs out of the game. It's the landlady. What can I help you with? Well, I've decided to sell the house. My husband is ill and we urgently need money. I'm very sorry. Hyun-Soo feels deeply apologetic. The landlady has been charging him below market rent and he's fallen behind on payments multiple times. So when should I move out? Within 2 weeks is fine. Of course, I'll move out within 2 weeks. Hyun-Soo has earned quite a bit in Ares. Father's medical expenses, bought back the old house that was sold, but I haven't started my own treatment yet. What should I do next? At this moment, Nael calls Hyun-Soo. Hyun-Soo, what are you doing? I came up with a great idea for this quest, so I rushed to contact you. Can we talk about it later when I'm free? I'm working on Barad's quest, and suddenly I have to move within 2 weeks. Hearing this, Nael is shocked. Don't you know how important this quest is? Through this quest, I expect to achieve 2 major effects. Right now, people are discussing that the tournament winner and Blacksmith Hyun are the same person. If you suddenly create a guild without clearly revealing your identity, what will happen? You've already received Sword King Barad's sword crafting quest. He's one of the 10 legendary figures in Ares. Imagine what will happen when he wields a weapon engraved with Hyun. Now is the moment your value skyrockets. Hearing this, Hyun-Soo immediately becomes interested. Thanks to you, I've come to my senses. I'll give it my all. The scene shifts. Hyun-Soo logs back into Ares. At this moment, Bella is very anxious. Why are you only back now? What's wrong? Did something happen? His Majesty. He's trapped in the Fire Dragon's lair. Hearing this, Hyun-Soo is shocked. Where did you say the Sword King is? What place is the Fire Dragon's lair? Bella is speechless. You don't even know where it is? She then briefly explains the Fire Dragon's lair. It contains all fire attribute monsters. Among them, Ifrit's dungeon is particularly captivating, but no one except Sword King Barad has returned alive. But why would he return to that place, especially without the weapon I'm making? That's because the king's revenge target is there. A revenge target? On the other side, the Sword King is fighting fiercely in the Fire Dragon's lair. If only he can step through that gate. But clearly, the weapon in his hand isn't enough to get him there. At least all the subordinates who came with him evacuated safely. Right now, he must at least wait until reinforcements arrive before acting. I should have waited until Hyun-Soo finished the weapon before acting. If my son Ben were still alive, he'd probably be about Hyun-Soo's age by now. Back then, Ben and the Sword King conquered the Fire Dragon's lair together, but unfortunately he perished there. He thought that if he conquered the Fire Dragon's lair, he could become the son the Sword King would be proud of, but clearly his power wasn't enough. In the end, he closed his eyes filled with unwillingness. At that moment, the Sword King's heart completely shattered. If only I had waited for that sword before acting, things might have been better, but he absolutely cannot let Ifrit escape. After all, the Sword King has been waiting for it to appear for many years. At the same time, Bella slowly explains, since the prince's death, the king has devoted all his efforts to hunting Ifrit, but Ifrit won't come out on its own. Perhaps this is the king's last chance. Frankly, I find it hard to trust you, a stranger. But His Majesty must have his reasons for entrusting you with this. As a knight of Gyard Kingdom, I beg you to save His Majesty. The next second, a quest notification appears. Emergency quest, save the king. Rank, S description. Sword King Barad is trapped in the Fire Dragon's lair. Forge a sword powerful enough to rescue him. I didn't expect Barad to have experienced something like this. This reminds Hyun-soo of a scene from the past. Then he tightly clenches his fist. I'll give it everything I have. The next second, Hyun-soo throws himself completely into forging. They say the high temperature in Ifrit's lair can even melt top-quality weapons. So I must craft a sword that surpasses top quality. And I must focus on studying ice properties. Your understanding of centennial cold iron deepens. The soul of the blacksmith god is activated. Your passion, determination, and empathy immerse you completely in a state of focused concentration. Hyun's first legendary grade sword is being crafted. The scene shifts. Bella rushes anxiously into the smithy. Is the weapon ready? Of course. Let's go. Let's go rescue His Majesty Barad together. After the Sword King enters the Fire Dragon's lair, the next second he swings his sword at Ifrit. I've waited a long time for this day. Amid a flurry of blade flashes, Ifrit's body is severed on the spot, but in less than a moment, Ifrit instantly regenerates the wound. Then it suddenly launches an attack on Barad, forcing him back dozens of meters on the spot. At the same time, flames suddenly wrap around his sword. In the blink of an eye, the broken sword is melted on the spot by flames. Immediately after, Ifrit uses flames to surround Barad completely. Damn it! Have I failed after all? Just as he calmly accepts his death. The next second, a longsword blocks the Ifrit's attack for him. Then the surrounding flames are frozen by ice. It turns out Hyun-soo arrived just in time. At this moment, Bella shouts to Barad, "Your Majesty, quickly use that sword!" Hearing this, Barad immediately picks up the longsword, Hyun's custom sword, legendary grade, enhanced durability and ice damage, with devastating power against fire creatures. Active skill, Frost Flower. The first legendary blade crafted exclusively for King Barad. Please wield it to your heart's content. The next second, Barad uses the active skill Frost Flower. Countless ice shards shoot straight toward Ifrit. This isn't over yet. Barad swiftly moves behind it, then unleashes a full power strike, cutting Ifrit in half on the spot. With this, Barad finally defeats the Fire Dragon's lair boss. At this moment, Ifrit's body suddenly erupts with fierce flames. What's happening? Some monsters choose self-destruction before death, but Barad beside them remains unmoved. Seeing this, Bella immediately reminds Barad, "Your Majesty, please come out. It's dangerous there. Stay where you are and stand by." That's an order. I want to end it here. Bella is conflicted. As a knight, she must obey orders, but she can't just watch His Majesty walk to his death. At this moment, Hyun-soo steps forward. "I'll go bring His Majesty back." Then Hyun-soo uses divine emergency crafting to create fire-resistant armor. "Your Majesty, are you alright? Stranger, go back. You've completed your task." But Hyun-soo says he cannot do that because his task is to escort His Majesty back. "I'm not going back. My son died because of me. How can I go on living?" Hearing this, Hyun-soo is shocked. "Do you think he would be happy about this? You don't understand at all. You don't understand my feelings. No one knows the pain of losing my son." Hyun-soo slowly says, "You're right. I don't understand the pain of losing a son. But I almost lost a loved one too. My father fell into a coma. Every day I pray for him to open his eyes, but I'm grateful my father is still alive. I believe your son thinks the same. So please, let go of that burden in your heart now." With this, Sword King Barad's inner conflict is finally resolved. "Don't you want to be a father your son can be proud of? You're right. I cannot become a father he would be ashamed of. Let's go back together." After rescuing the Sword King, Hyun-soo is forcibly logged out of the game due to HP reaching 0. "I'll be back soon." Then the Sword King faints due to depleted stamina. At the same time, due to forced logout, Hyun-soo's level drops by 1. Hyun-soo sheds a single tear. "I'll keep moving forward, father." The scene shifts. 3 days after falling unconscious, Sword King Barad finally wakes up, and the first thing he does upon waking is summon Hyun-soo. After exchanging greetings, the two begin to converse. "I summoned you because there's something I want to ask. I know Outlanders are beings who cannot die. That's a law of this world's existence. But I'm not afraid of death. I want to know why you risked your life to save me. There are 2 reasons. First, I hope your Majesty can live on carrying this burden, as I do. Second, I believe your Majesty will grant me a generous reward." Hearing this, Barad shows a slight smile. Such confident words. "You're right. I was planning to reward you anyway. This is what that sword you crafted is worth." The next second, Hyun-soo freezes on the spot. The reward is a full 1,000,000 gold coins. Barad slowly says, "You saved my life. This price is worth it. I'll strive to live on. When I meet Ben in heaven one day, I won't feel ashamed before him. I hope you do the same. Your father will wake up someday. But can I ask you something? Can you make time to come visit me? I want to hear about your journey and the people you'll encounter." "Of course." Hyun-soo immediately agrees. "I'd also like to hear about your Majesty's past. I believe you'll amaze me. I wonder if you're willing to become my friend." Intimacy with Barad reaches maximum level. Friend's protection is about to descend. "Of course. It's my honor." Then, to commemorate this moment, the Sword King decides to teach swordsmanship to Hyun-soo. Hearing this, Knight Commander Benson beside them is shocked. "You're going to teach swordsmanship to an Outlander again? Not long ago, Rod was appointed as your Majesty's successor and received swordsmanship training, didn't he? To receive your Majesty's swordsmanship certification, he must possess the appropriate qualifications. Rest assured, I don't bestow such honors lightly either." A notification appears. S-grade quest, Sword King's swordsmanship. To learn the swordsmanship, you must successfully hit the commander 3 times or more. Failure will decrease Sword King Barad's affection. Benson will test you to see if you're qualified. During the 2 days of rest Barad provided Hyun-soo, he paid off his father's medical bills, then found a new place to live. Finally expressed his gratitude to the landlady. The scene shifts. He invites Ji-hoon to eat barbecue together, then presents a gift. These are the most famous shoes in the country. It's to thank Ji-hoon. After all, without his help, Hyun-soo couldn't have entered the world of Ares. Moments later, the duel finally begins. "Please take out your weapon, Hyun-soo. I won't go easy easy on you just because you're His Majesty's friend. Then Hyun-soo takes out a stone from his pocket. Of course, same here. The next second, the stone bursts with a dazzling light, then transforms into a longsword in Hyun-soo's hand. I thought something would happen. Isn't that just an ordinary sword? Saying this, he launches an attack on Hyun-soo. With just one move, Hyun-soo's longsword begins to shatter. How could you make such a fragile sword? As the longsword shatters with a resounding crack, countless fragments fly straight and hit Benson. My task is just to hit you 3 times, right? Now I've already hit you 59 times. This doesn't violate the rules, does it? This is a method I never thought of. Hyun-soo, what exactly is your true identity? I am the blacksmith god. Hearing this, Benson instantly becomes a devoted fanboy. Please honor this swordsmanship. 2 weeks pass quickly. During these 2 weeks, Hyun-soo's basic swordsmanship improves greatly. Because his level is too low, he only learns the first 3 chapters. The Sword King says that once he levels up, he'll teach the subsequent swordsmanship content. Moments later, Hyun-soo approaches the Sword King with a request. He needs the Centennial Cold Iron used to forge that sword before, but the Sword King says that was the last piece. Hearing this, Hyun-soo freezes on the spot. My plan has fallen through. The Sword King reassures him there's no need to despair, because Centennial Cold Iron can be extracted from mines. Why don't you try it yourself? Bella, go with Hyun-soo. This will be a good experience for you too. I understand. I'll follow your orders. On the other side, news of the Sword King conquering the Fire Dragon's lair spreads across the entire network. Observant people notice the sword King used is engraved with Hyun. In no time, Hyun's blacksmith trends rapidly again. Many players begin to follow him. This makes Hyun-soo feel immense pressure. Because of the Sword King's speech, his follower count surges to 310,000. Everyone is very interested in Hyun, but he still feels he needs to be more cautious, because he still has many things to do. Then, before heading to the mine, he sends a message to Kong Hak-soo. Hak-soo browses the speech about the Sword King successfully conquering the Fire Dragon's lair. Due to his professional pursuits, he has entered the Fire Dragon's lair multiple times, but all his equipment was melted. Even with money, there's no way to solve this critical weakness. At this moment, he receives a text from Hyun-soo. Hello boss, I'd like to fulfill my previous promise to you. Hyun-soo sends Kang Hak-soo a text. Only then does he remember Hyun-soo did promise to craft a weapon for him. Have there been any changes to the weapon you requested? I plan to craft it and send it out. Seeing this, Hak-soo becomes interested. No changes. But Hyun-soo, what's your level? My level is 59. Hearing this, he freezes on the spot. Although Hyun-soo's level is a bit low, he still holds some expectation for him. Then he gazes at the Sword King on the screen, lost in thought. Should I also try to find Blacksmith Hyun? But I heard that guy doesn't accept commissions. But right now, there seems to be no other way, so I should give it a try. The scene shifts. Hyun-soo arrives at Frost Mine. As the first player to enter the mine, experience gain doubles for 1 week. This is fantastic. Double experience too. Bella, have you been here before? No, this is my first time here too. At this moment, a worker beside them stops the two. How can you just enter here casually? Bella immediately takes out a permit. We've already obtained royal permission. I see. Hello, I'm Danya, a miner. I'm a blacksmith. I'm glad to meet you both, but the mine is restricted. However, my father is the mine supervisor. I'll take you to him now. Hyun-soo notices a cave entrance with a barrier beside them. Are there all monsters inside? That's right. Interesting, isn't it? They say the mine is full of monsters, but 100 years ago, a mage sealed them all in this mine. Hyun-soo notices those monsters actually have Centennial Cold Iron on them. That's right. If you're too greedy, you'll suffer greatly. Inside the barrier is their territory. Easy to enter, hard to leave, though we also find it very regrettable. After all, the mine has abundant mineral resources. Moments later, Danya brings the two to find his father, then turns and leaves. But actually, he is hiding nearby eavesdropping, because he is curious why strangers would suddenly come here. At the same time, Hyun-soo introduces himself and Bella to Supervisor Craig. An outlander? So what did you come here for? I'm looking for Centennial Cold Iron, or even better quality ore. Better ore than this? Though such ore does exist, Craig doesn't want to tell Hyun-soo, especially a greedy outlander. If news spreads that the mine has such things, then this place will definitely fall into chaos. However, since this outlander has obtained royal permission, then I must find a way to make them back down. Have you mined ore before? Hyun-soo says he hasn't. An ordinary miner extracts 3 types of ore per day. If you can refine 40 types of minerals within 1 week, I'll tell you what I know. At this moment, Hyun-soo receives a quest. Collect 40 mineral types within 1 week. Quest rank, level 1. Quantities vary by type. Failure penalty, unable to obtain minerals beyond Centennial Cold Iron. Description, prove your qualifications as a miner by extracting 40 or more types of ore. So will you accept my proposal? Yes. What if my count exceeds 40? That's impossible. If you actually do it, I'll mine ore for you myself. Then see you in 1 week. Bella is curious. Hyun-soo, why did you bet with Craig? Because if I have an idea, it means I've prepared everything. I'll definitely obtain better quality ore. 1 week later, Craig is very puzzled, because Hyun-soo has stayed in the mine for a week without coming out. At this moment, Hyun-soo slowly emerges from the mine. The agreed time has arrived. Now show me your results. The next second, Hyun-soo pours out all the ore from his spatial pocket. Seeing this, Craig is shocked. There should be 200 types of ore here. What did you say? Are you that legendary miner? No, I'm just an ordinary blacksmith. The Damascus pickaxe, specially designed by Hyun-soo for cutting stone. A pickaxe converted from a Damascus sword. When not needed, it could transform into a sword. At this moment, Craig slowly says, I understand. You completed the task using a blacksmith's method. I apologize for my previous attitude and invite you to join me for dinner. Of course, I'm deeply honored. But can I invite Bella as well? No problem. The scene shifts. Everyone is curious. Did you really extract 200 types of ore? Of course. How many cold iron did you mine? About 20 or so. Hearing this, everyone is shocked. Your pickaxe has become famous. Can we see it? Of course. Hyun-Soo immediately summons the pickaxe. This is the Damascus pickaxe specially designed for mining. It increases mining ability by 200%, and it can transform into a sword. After switching, it can still cut stone. Very practical. Just like that, Hyun-Soo naturally integrates into this big family. The scene shifts. Craig points to the side. This is where millennial cold ice is mined. Hearing this, Hyun-Soo freezes on the spot. But isn't this sealed by a barrier? That's right, but millennial cold ice is indeed here. With so many monsters, it definitely isn't safe. That's not my concern. You'll have to handle it yourself. A notification appears ahead. A new story is about to begin. The barrier set by Mage Baron has been broken for 100 years. Baron's barrier has dissipated. Monsters trapped for a century suddenly erupt. In 3 minutes, the barrier will be broken. Hyun-Soo immediately tells everyone to evacuate quickly. The barrier is about to break. Get the workers out fast. Impossible. This barrier has been fine for 100 years. The next second, violent tremors strike. Damn it, mineshaft 16 has collapsed. Everyone evacuate quickly. Everyone go. Monsters will appear soon. But Craig says the mine's protection measures have been activated. They must rescue those trapped in the shaft before evacuating. Based on the quest parameters, monsters will swarm out any moment now. What should I do? New quest, prevent miners' deaths. Number of miners, 96 survivors. Rewards vary based on survival count. Damn it. Using the number of people to measure reward standards? Aren't the people of Ares living beings too? The next second, Hyun-Soo draws his longsword. Bella, if any monsters escape, please take care of them. We Outlanders don't die. I'll stay in the shaft to block the monsters. As the barrier dissipates, countless monsters charge straight out of the shaft. Can I handle these things? With just the Damascus sword, it's impossible. I need a brand new weapon. Using more ore with emergency crafting. Using this skill repeatedly could have unpredictable consequences. The next second, Hyun-Soo uses emergency crafting, creating a cold iron greatsword. With a thunderous boom, countless monsters suddenly appear before him. Without hesitation, Hyun-Soo swings his longsword at the monsters. As long as I'm here, not a single monster will pass through. Hyun-Soo uses the active skill Frost Storm. In an instant, countless ice spikes pierce through the monsters' chests. Then the cold iron greatsword slowly fades away. Looks like weapons made with quality materials work quite well, but there are still many monsters in the mine. I wonder how the miners are doing. Those miners are desperately trying to save rare ores. To Hyun-Soo, they're not ordinary NPCs, but people who sacrifice themselves for their loved ones. So he's determined to protect them. Then he lures the monsters to an uninhabited cave. Immediately after, he takes out the Damascus sword and engages them. Amid a flurry of blade flashes, all the monsters before him are wiped out completely. At this moment, one monster tries to sneak attack, but Hyun-Soo cuts it down with one sword strike, then fiercely swings another strike, killing it on the spot. Facing multiple monsters' siege, Hyun-Soo calmly executes the king's swordsmanship. With just one move, the surrounding monsters are cut in half. Grand sword attacks deal an additional 100% damage. Melee attacks deal an additional 140% damage. This swordsmanship is more powerful than imagined. Before long, Hyun-Soo collapses exhausted on the ground. You have cleared it. All 96 miners survived. New chapter completed with remarkable success. By guiding mine supervisor Craig, you may receive higher rewards. Hyun-Soo suddenly comes up with a good idea. On the other side, everyone escapes safely. Only then do they realize Hyun-Soo hasn't come out, so they form a team to search the mine. Before long, they find Hyun-Soo collapsed on the side. Fortunately, he still has a heartbeat. Nothing serious. At this moment, Hyun-Soo grabs Bella. Wait a moment. Though the battle was extremely difficult, fortunately, we repelled the monsters. Is everyone alright? Craig is moved. We only cared about escaping and forgot about you. Don't worry about it. We're family, aren't we? Craig feels very guilty. I will absolutely never forget your kindness. And Bella beside them is puzzled. What is this guy doing? As everyone slowly carries Hyun-Soo out, he achieves a special milestone, earning the eternal gratitude of every miner. Indeed, this plan is fantastic. Hyun-Soo gives Bella a thumbs up. As expected, this guy was faking it.